Before Ottawa, before Salle County, before any of the names we use for this place, people were already here. 12,000 years ago, the Ice Age had just ended. Glaciers that once buried this entire region were melting, carving the river and shaping the canyons, leaving behind the valley we're standing in now. And the first people followed the water in. They came south as the ice retreated, tracking the river, learning the land. They were hunters, small groups, moving with the seasons. They were hunting mammoth, mastodon, game that doesn't exist anymore. They left almost nothing behind, except for the tools. Archaeologists have found their stone points here, in the canyons at Starved Rock, 11,000 years old. You see, this valley has been occupied longer than most of the ancient world. While Egypt was allegedly building the pyramids, people were already living here for thousands of years. While Rome was rising, the river held communities that stretched out for miles. For thousands of years, the people here got more sophisticated. By the time of Rome, a culture was rising along the river that most people of Illinois have never heard of, the Hopewell. They built burial mounds along these bluffs, filled with copper, obsidian, and shark teeth. Traders connected to a network that stretched across an entire continent, right here, along this river. They disappeared around 500 AD, and nobody knows why. The mounds went quiet, the trade routes went cold, but the valley didn't empty out. It never emptied out. By the time Europeans arrived in North America, this valley belonged to a nation called the Inuit. They called themselves Helleni. It just means the men. The French heard it, they couldn't say it right, and wrote down Illinois. That's where the name comes from. A typo. Not a place, a people. They weren't a single tribe, they were a confederation. 12 groups sharing a language, a culture, and this river. They built long houses that stretched for hundreds of feet. They farmed corn and bean. They raised their children on this water. Their villages lined both banks of the Illinois for miles in every direction. And they were not small. Right across the river from Starved Rock, on the ground in between the water and D. Bennett Road in Utica, there is one of the largest native settlements in North America, the Grand Village of Illinois. You'd probably driven past it. There's no monument, no marker most people notice, but when Joliet and Marquette paddled through in the 1600s, they put the estimates at 20,000. Long houses stretching 2 miles along the riverbank. Fields of corn and squash, canoes on the river, not a camp, not a hunting ground. It was a city, right there. This is the part of the story that most of us have heard some version of. 100 years before the siege on Starved Rock, the French built a fort on top, Fort St. Louis. The Inuit helped construct it. They lived right alongside the French, trading furs, sharing the bluff. It was a partnership. Then the French left, and the rock became a battleground. You already know the rest. Pontiac gets killed. Ottawa and Potawatomi come for revenge. The last band of Inuit runs to the top. The coalition doesn't climb, it waits. They starve. That's the Starved Rock. From an archaeological standpoint, we're not even sure if the legend is true. But if you've ever been to the Historical Society in Utica, you've walked past a room full of artifacts. Pottery, tools, trade goods, pieces of a city held by 20,000 people. Maybe you saw it on a school field trip, or you walked in on a Saturday afternoon, didn't think twice about it. But by 1832, that entire civilization had been reduced to 200 people. Just a name on a treaty. It's a familiar story. Warring neighboring tribes. White settlers drive out the survivors. From Plymouth Rock to the Trail of Tears, we've heard these stories before. But this series covers the perspective of the Illinois Valley, and what comes next isn't buried in the ground. Some of it is still here, and we walk past it every day.